notice, since it's also been used to inhibit my ability to read. I mentioned that earlier. Well, I mean, yeah, to make it so I wouldn't be able to, they only partially inhibited my ability to speak because it would be too noticeable. Since they were only, and then it should say after, since they were only able to partially inhibit my ability to speak. Dang, okay. So this is an example of that. Only able to partially inhibit my ability to speak. This actually works in my favor. The more that I mess up or take longer, right? The longer it takes me, the better it is. My ability to speak, because it would be too noticeable. There we go. See how noticeable that is? To speak, because it would be too noticeable. There we go. I just spent the last couple of hours, actually, trying to just get ready to make my video, and then they had this planned at the very last minute to make sure that I would have unsatisfactory articulation in one of the pages. So I'd have to go back and remake it. Rewrite it. Wait. Oh wow, they did that. Since they were only able to partially inhibit my ability to speak. Since they were only able to partially inhibit my ability to speak, they hypnotized me to feel like speaking. Wow. Okay. See, and that's an example of how they would do that, and that's an example of what they did right here. Well, right here, technically, right? I had to rewrite this entire thing, and I've had to erase multiple times. Before I start erasing too much, I want to show the example here. If it's able to be seen clearly enough on the camera. Let me see. Where the handwriting is noticeably different at the top than the bottom, because I had to erase multiple times. Because, I mean, it's being used to really prevent and prolong me from finishing in a timely manner. It's been about 7 minutes on this video. I might end this one specifically, and I can use this one as a specific example that's short and brief, without having to do any editing of any video, because I'm recording on 2 cameras. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this video, and I'm going to start another one. Let's see. That sounds so horrible. That's horrible. That's horrible. That's horrible. This one's a really good speech inhibition example, too. I need to hurry. I really need to hurry. I was supposed to be, like, done a long time ago with all this. Let's make this one public. New playlist. This would be 05. What's today? I'm glad I didn't make it too long. That way I can watch it myself. 22. Hypnosis inhibiting handwriting example. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and upload that video. Okay, so that's uploading. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to start the next video. That was supposed to be video 1 too, but I'll get to it. Sorry. By the way, so let's see. there's a lot of evidence of speech inhibiting, of hypnosis inhibiting my ability to speak. That being an example of how they use this with some of my friends' phone numbers. Which, that's really, pretty bad, and if they know my friends' phone numbers, to mix up the digits and one of my friends' phone numbers, the first three digits, and one of my friends' phone numbers with the first three digits and a different friend's phone number. The same thing can actually be done. You can mix up, a person's name with somebody else's name. And, as long as the person is a somnambulist, it'll work. It's very misunderstood what hypnosis is capable of doing. There's a lot of myths that are extremely dangerous. I'm trying to set a lot of those things straight. So I wasted some time just explaining that. It only partially inhibited my ability to speak because it would be too. And the hypnosis also has inhibited my ability to write quite profoundly and frequently. So they were only able to partially inhibit. Instead of inhibited, sorry about that. That's what I was erasing. So I'm gonna go ahead and rewrite that little T and the Y that was above it. Since they were only able to partially inhibit my ability to speak, not because there we go. It's comma and then they hypnotized me. So it was at that point that I was cued. So, the shorter video, it's actually going to be in two different parts. Which is nice because, the parts at least make it, bite-sized pieces for people to be able to watch. And, I've been writing, I think, just this sentence. It's taken, with almost 3 minutes in this video, I think about 10 minutes. So, let's see. I don't know if you noticed that elicitation of anger. Since they were only able to partially inhibit my ability to speak, they hypnotized me too. I feel like speaking was extremely physically strenuous, difficult, and forced. Whenever I resisted a post-hypnotic suggestion, I was hypnotized to elicit a noticeable feeling of anger as a method to conceal the post-hypnotic suggestions. But what I'm going to be writing is different. I was hypnotized to conceal the presentation and evidence of post-hypnotic suggestions with an audible elicitation of anger to conceal my sanity and competence. Okay, there we go. There we go. They hypnotized me. Found it. And yeah. So that last expression, that they hypnotized me to do this audibly as well. And a variety of different post-hypnotic suggestions to replicate the appearance of mental illness in a successive order. So then I would catch one or two, and I would point them out like I am in this video, and then they'd have another 4 or 5, and I have to catch all of them and get somebody to believe that they did that to me, which is extremely difficult to do. Now, considering the fact that I do have a certification in hypnosis that I obtained, this was what day? The 18th of April this year, from Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy. It's actually a rather comprehensive hypnosis course. So it covers really what I need to know. Even though I haven't actually used it yet, but Hopefully I won't even have to. Actually, by the way, I am going to end the video and start the next one. And I'm going to be uploading several videos, so... inhibit my ability to speak. They hypnotized me to feel like speaking was extremely... I want to get this part out of the way, and then I'm going to go ahead and upload this video and stop it, though. Speaking was... Okay, I'm going to stop it. There we go. I guess they didn't want... They wanted to make sure I didn't have a 5-minute video, specifically. As an example. Example 2. Was extremely physically strenuous, difficult, and forced. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay, so I mean, I have this recorded right now, but at the same time... Let's see. There we go, there we go, there we go. Awesome. Whenever I resisted... Oh. There we go, there we go. That's the part, that's the part. There we go, there we go. This third video might not be as great of an example, but let's see. I was hypnotized. Because this one should be much easier to do and read. Oh, wow, that makes sense too. They're really slowing me down by making it difficult for me to read and speak, right? They do it by making it extremely difficult to conceal. And I have other examples of like this specifically in the other videos. The presentation elicits and evidence of post-hypnotic suggestions with an audible elicitation of anger. The audible elicitation of anger, it sounds like, right? That's what they hypnotized me to do whenever I resisted post-hypnotic suggestions. In fact, they had a successive list of post-hypnotic suggestions to elicit in order. So that if I noticed one or two, but not all of them, it wouldn't work out as well. I made multiple videos. I don't remember how I started this specific video out. This video that I'm recording. The second one. Which one's the second one though, right? So the one that's like 2 minutes long compared to 2.5 hours. That's a lot of impairment and inhibition. I was hypnotized to conceal with a presentation. There we go. And so I was hypnotized to do that. If I apparently tried to, if I noticed, when I noticed it specifically, I think that makes sense. I should become very famous for this, unfortunately. There we go. And the facial expression, like, there's a variety of different ones. Some of them were audible. Some of them were just facial features. Others would be like stuttering or repression of memory, confusion, inability to multitask as well was one specifically, with an audible elicitation. And that's one of the things that they used to abuse me, because by doing that, I would not be able to multitask. Ow. And also they made my hand cramp a lot. That's really what this entire thing is about, too. Before I can get to where my hand has been cramping. Because that hasn't worked out very well for me, just talking about my hand cramping. I don't know why, someone would think I would make that up, but let's see, which was used. Oh, wow. Did the same... I noticed that. Okay, so I had to erase and rewrite just barely in the word anger. And then the R was darker, just like when I was writing the word murder. Well, I mean, a little bit different, actually, because, like, I noticed I wrote the word murder, and I was, like, zoned out, spaced out. And then, all of a sudden, the letter R got really dark. When I finished, I was like, like, that irritated me, right? Which, might not have even been my, real, like, normal type of emotional response to that situation. Sorry. Which was a method used to conceal my sanity and competence. That's called gaslighting, by the way. So that's an actual terminology. It's derived from a movie that was made back in like the 1940s, like 1944, about the woman's husband tried to this woman's husband tried to make her get admitted into the state mental hospital involuntarily. They repressed my ability to say that. That's what happened with the stutter and why my speech is being like fragmented and slowed down. So to kind of break it up and prolong it, to conceal, and they did this in the last video. They didn't want me to have a 5-minute video, so it's a little bit over 5 minutes, which was used as a method to conceal sanity and competency. There we go. Sanity and competency. And then what I'm going to be going over here. Okay, so the post-hypnotic suggestions are discernible specifically in body language, speech, and cognitive impairment. I'll stop this video right now. Okay, I'm even recording another video here. The post-hypnotic suggestions are discernible specifically in body language, see, the hypnosis is definitely slowing me down in this one too. And I shouldn't be angry about the fact that I'm exposing evidence either. That's not a normal thing to feel. It's abnormal. Ow. So the post-hypnotic suggestions are discernible specifically in body language, speech, and cognitive impairment. Alright, I'm going to upload this video. So I'm going to upload both those videos. There we go. So that's done. That was long, exhaustive, but I'm not going to stop. This is not good. Oh, can you take that off too? And that's done at least. So yeah, anyways, I'm still recording, which is good. There we go. So that makes sense. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and read these real quick as well. Let's see. This is long. When I was hypnotized, I was told that the post-hypnotic suggestions were like hypnotic laws that they made for me, and I was told that resisting those post-hypnotic suggestions was like breaking that. Wow, that's an example of them inhibiting my ability to read. I'm going to record this. I'm reading this right now because I noticed that the hypnosis was inhibiting my ability to read very quickly. There's other videos where I'm reading very quickly, so inhibiting an inhibition of speech, right? When I was hypnotized, I was told that the post-hypnotic suggestions were like hypnotic laws that they made for me, and I was told that resisting those post-hypnotic suggestions was like breaking the laws they made for me. I was hypnotized to feel like breaking the hypnotic law was very strenuous and forceful. There is another one. That's not good. So I wonder if they did this like in a certain order, right? Where it would have to leave out a word in a sentence every so many like sentences. Whoa, that's weird. I was hypnotized to think lo vase ovidar when I wrote la was very. Anyways, that's a song that had some other post-hypnotic suggestions associated about euphoria and operant conditioning, and it's so scary. I don't. Like I said, the audible elicitation of anger was one of the post-hypnotic suggestions that was cued to occur in succession with a variety of others. I don't know exactly how somebody's supposed to make that up, right? They must have done some type of experiments to figure that out. In order to create the appearance and the impression, instill the belief of lack of competency and insanity. Sorry about that. Speaking is slowed right now as well, and then this is weird. All right. I should not be smiling right now even. This is bad. So bad. This is scary. Okay. When I was hypnotized, I was told that the post-hypnotic suggestions were like hypnotic laws that they made for me, and I was told that resisting those post-hypnotic suggestions was like breaking the laws they made for me. I was hypnotized to feel like breaking the hypnotic law was very strenuous, forceful, and difficult to feel like the the more I tried to break the hypnotic laws, that the more strenuous, forceful, and difficult it felt, and to feel very angry after breaking the law. Okay? There's one grammar error. After breaking the hypnotic law, to the extent I would be forced to make an audible exclamation or elicitation, is actually what I want to write. So again, hypnosis inhibited my ability to write the right letter even. Eoicitation. That word actually has a post-hypnotic suggestion in it, associated with it. Well, a metaphor, and I don't even like it either. To make an audible elicitation of anger would be more noticeable because people would be able to hear it, and it would conceal any strange